Every time a new client joins me, they get this, a handwritten note from myself and a piece of merch. This is the Barnstable Health tees that I rep pretty much every single day. I'm not actually repping it today, it's in the wash. But whilst setting out this month's merch, just talk to you a bit about some of the clients and their journey so far. A lot of the times the clients that are getting merch are only a few weeks in because obviously they request merch at the start. So there won't be huge amounts to say about them, but I can maybe tell you about the backstories and can tell you just the amount of great work they've already put in and the results they've seen as a result of starting. So let's start. This one is Jane's. Jane joined me 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? Last week, a week and a half ago, let's call it 2 weeks. And funny enough, she wanted to leave a few days in. She actually texted me saying, "Hey George, can I stop this? Like, everything feels overwhelming and I don't know if this is right for me." And I tell you this because that's the reality of change. It's gonna feel scary, but we need to create such a space where it doesn't, right? Where you can move forward without feeling like it's hard. Right? And of course, at the start, it's the hardest. It's always going to be, right? As you step over that bridge of change. But over the last few days, what we've really done is work even closer together and make sure that she feels really grounded, really happy, and uncover kind of what was behind that. Because the reality is that she just hadn't bought food for the week. And she thought that I was going to come crashing down on her with a hammer saying, "Hey, like, you know, you're doing it all wrong. It's not perfect." But the reality is, all I did was I was like, "Hey, do what we can with the food we have in the fridge over the next few days. You're able to go to the supermarket on Sunday. What that means is we prepare food on Sunday for the rest of the week, and maybe we don't have a few good days of food, for example. That's totally fine. It's not what this is about, creating perfect meals. It's about how we create a more sustainable approach to food." Nice. Okay. This is Sally. This is one of my most exciting clients in my opinion. Sally is 73. She has struggled with her relationship with food for a long time, and took a lot of courage for her to reach out. And she's been here now 3 or 4 weeks, and in that time completely shifted her perspective on what actual health is. We've moved her from someone that cares about calories and what the weighing scale says to someone that actually cares about how her body moves, how she feels on a daily basis. And you know, as someone also with chronic fatigue at the age of 73, she can't really do a lot. And that's why it's so important that we're actually taking this one step at a time. And I'm so happy to say that in just like a handful of weeks, she's achieved so much. Like, we're now able to understand what we can do on a particular day, whether it's a red, green or yellow day in terms of how hard she should be pushing herself or how easy she should be taking it. And getting to her to a point where ultimately she feels in control with her food. And I think that is one of the immediate changes that clients see when they come on board, and she's already in that position as well. So I'm just very proud of her. And it shows that age is just a number in this. Why is that always the hardest bit? Billy actually lives so close to me over here in Melbourne, which is funny. Billy has been with me 3 weeks now as well. He came to me as someone that struggled with binge eating. I mean, this is everyone who comes to me, right? Struggles with binge eating. He wanted to lose some weight. Not everyone that comes to me wants to lose weight. They want to maybe just replay their relationship with food, and maybe they're already in a really good position physically, but he wanted to do both. And we've set aside the next 6 months together to get to that point, and he's already 3 kilos down. And yeah, I just am so impressed with what he's done already. He's such a lovely guy, and really excited to meet him. We're going to do a meetup in July when he's back from visiting his parents actually. So yeah, really excited for his kind of journey. Juan is where is he actually from? Colombia. He is the sweetest dude ever. I have worked with Juan for the last 4 weeks now. He's approaching 1 month. As you can see, I'm kind of like about a month in with every single person here. He's someone that worked with a trainer in the past, actually. He had a really bad experience where the trainer ghosted him, took a lot of money, didn't refund him, built his plan from ChatGPT. It was a horror story just hearing it, completely honest. And what's even sadder is like, that is so common in the industry. Well, it's not common to be ripped off, but it's very common to work with someone that has a nice body on Instagram and has no idea how to help other people. Like, I think you can be so good at training yourself, but when it comes to actually coaching, that's a different skill in itself. And I don't think that everyone is fit out to be a coach, and that was a perfect example of that, as sad as it was. Okay, our last two. We have Ivan. Ivan is a super cool dude. He is someone that, wow, he's an athlete. He is a really, really impressive dude. He is not my typical clientele, but he is someone that binge eats, someone that had really bad relationship with food. And actually, instead of like purging food, he would purge in the form of exercise. So he would consume thousands of calories and then go on like a 20K run the next morning. So from a physique point of view, you know, you'd look at him and you'd never assume he would ever have a problem relationship with food. But until you actually speak to these people, do you actually realize that? And that was the case for me as well. Like, I would do the same thing. I would binge eat and then I would restrict myself with food the next day. I would over obsessive exercise. And that's how I stayed fairly lean for like all of my late teens once I lost a lot of weight. But yeah, deep inside I was really, really not in a good place. He's actually started documenting his journey online too. And I'm just so proud of him as well for doing this, because it takes a lot of balls. You know, it's a very courageous thing to open up and talk about vulnerabilities. But I'm gonna link his page here, and you can go follow him if you'd like to see his journey of like getting back to a place of freedom with food and with training as well, because ultimately that was a big part of his binging, right? Is he would exercise so much that would increase his hunger levels because his body needed to eat, and then he would binge as a result. So what I've really done with him over the first month is drop his training intensity to a point where he's okay, like he's still happy with how much he's training, but we're not doing 80 Ks running a week, for example. We're doing more like 20 to 40 at the moment. So we're still in a position where he's happy and content with exercise, and we're really just focusing on his relationship with food. Last candidate or last client that I'm sending this to is Inbal. Inbal is a really, really lovely lady. I don't actually know where she's from. Somewhere in Eastern Europe, I believe. But she's based here in Melbourne now, but like as in where she was born, or where her family heritage is. I should probably ask that. I should know that. But she's a saint. She's lovely, and she's very similar to Ivan, like very, very exercise orientated. And these two individuals, Ivan and Inbal, probably the first types of individuals I ran into that were more similar to me in terms of like my later side of binge eating. Like, I went through a period of binge eating where I lost a lot of weight, and still binge ate, because I was like doing it at a very restrictive rate. So I relate to a lot of clients like Billy, for example, in that respect. But then there are clients like Ivan and Inbal who are more similar to me in the fact that they're very active, and they actually use binge eating as like, they use exercise, as a way to not show the physical effects that binge eating has on the body, essentially in the form of weight gain. So yeah, she's lovely, and yeah, she's achieved a lot. Like, she's been here roughly similar time to Ivan, 3-4 weeks now. And for these two individuals, like, it's a big psychological game when they're so kind of in their roots with exercise and routines, and they're so disciplined in everything else but life but food. It's so tricky for them to be like, okay, I need to take a bit of a step back, but at the same time, it's the most important thing to do. Once we bring a bit more sustainability to training, to food, or to exercise and training, then we can actually apply that sustainability focused mindset to exercise or to food as well. So yeah, we're gonna package these all up now, and I'm gonna send them off to the postie to have for these guys. And yeah, what a blessing it is just to say, like, this is my job. I work with beautiful people. Like, I literally just jumped off a call with a client called Adam, who I worked with for the last 18 months, and he started crying at the end, and I was like, why are you crying? like, what's going on? He was like, I'm just so thankful for you and showing me that I can be someone that is consistent. Like, he was like, all my life I've tried to be consistent and I've always blamed myself. And it wasn't until someone showed me that there's a different way we can approach exercise and nutrition. It doesn't have to be so rigid around calorie tracking, around, you know, intensity and volume. And that's shown to work for me. So yeah, he's in the best physique he's ever had over the last year. He's consistently maintained, and we've just had the kind of exit call where he doesn't need me anymore. And he can go, you know, leave the bird's nest in a way. And yeah, it's always a really emotional time when anyone does leave. And yeah, I think it's one of my favorite times as well, though, because it's the point of my role, right, is to get someone to a point where I help them become more sustainable, explain how they can actually get to that point of sustainability themselves without needing me as much. And then, you know, one day they've got to fly out of the bird's nest essentially and go into the big wide world themselves, shall we say. So yeah, it's always a bittersweet moment, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, I'm gonna get all of these packages now over to the mailman, and if you want to have a Basketball Health t-shirt, they're exclusive to members. So if you want to earn a free t-shirt, improve your relationship with food, exercise, and as a result improve how your body looks, feels and moves, then I know a guy who's pretty good at what he does, and you should probably click the link in his description or bio or whatever we call it on YouTube to inquire about working with him one-on-one as well.